Hi guys, it is that time again. It is Tarot Tuesday and we are gonna get into it. I don't know if you've been feeling it, but I've been feeling it. We've been in like this kind of like funk energy. If you and like I just did this reading on TikTok, so we're probably gonna get the same energy. Uh as the Page of Pentacles actually pops out. If you are feeling like kind of like in this funk or anything like that, just kind of like go and detox, especially right now with all of this stuff kind of being revealed with Hollywood and Nickelodeon and stuff. Take some time to like detox and take a step back and just kind of like worry and focus, well, don't worry, but focus on your own journey and just focus on like your own path and your passions and focus on like growing and developing your business, because this is a very important season collectively. What you're seeing is this big like revealing of information happening on a collective scale. So, obviously a lot of us were already aware of these things. So, taking in more of this information is really going to do a lot more harm than it is good. I know, emphasis on curiosity killed the cat because we already know like a lot of the stuff going on. I really don't see, a whole lot of importance besides, obviously getting justice, but that's going to happen on its own terms. There's going to be plenty of lawyers getting involved. So I'm just saying, like, taking in more of this information isn't really going to help that situation. So take it that way and just detox and get away from that sort of information. Um, if you can process all that type of grief and focus on yourself, go you. You have some type of wild superpower that even I have never been able to adjust to. I'm just saying, I love you, but take information when you need it. Um, and discipline is a very key aspect to growth. So with this chapter, we're taking this transition phase, and I've talked about it too, like 1044. It can feel kind of like empty and voidish, because again, a lot of us do come out of like this dark night of the soul too when we're doing more self-discovery and realizing what areas of our life we need to focus on. uh a lot of that energy can come up as like grief and sorrow, the feeling of being where you are and kind of recycling that information and analyzing it can make you feel more stuck than what you actually are, just because you're hyper focused on it and you're trying to process the information. So just allow yourself that knowledge and allow yourself to detox. So if you are feeling that funk, just basically meditate and detox. Go take some like ritual baths, journal, process some information, meditate, do whatever cleansing you need to do and focus on your own life, bro. I love you. But again, like that information, knowing everything is not really going to do you a whole much lot better. And it's also going to take time away from you focusing on your goals. So just saying, just putting that out there. I love you. Page of Pentacles was the first card we got. So the Page of Pentacles, you're basically walking into this financial gift, this aspect of your life, this chapter of your life, you've been manifesting it for a long time. So, this is the time to get focused. This is time to get creative and just, embody your new skill, embrace this new chapter of your life, and allow yourself to just be so hyper focused on yourself that, all of the outside world doesn't even really matter. And I'm not in a sense where you're not collectively grieving or being empathetic. You know what I mean? It's more of a like, okay, I knew all of this was happening and other people are starting to see it now, so I need to focus on myself because me seeing all this, it's not really doing me any justice. Justice is going to be served on its own terms. So we do have like this eight of chalices. So again, a lot of mystery involved with this new chapter. It's not as mysterious as it really seems. There's just a lot of uncertainty, and this is again why we're taking that leap of faith and just stepping into this new chapter. A lot of us will go through like those tower moments where we lose our job or just like we realize that our job is just not worth all the time and effort, and it's actually taking a lot more away from where we could be. So basically your soul is getting is calling you to just walk into this uncertainty and have this faith with the uncertainty that it's gonna go your way. And just, yeah, just taking those risks, because again, they will feel like a lot more risky than what they actually are. There's just a lot more uncertainty involved. Hold on. That's funny. I shuffled some of these cards. I think I shuffled all of them, but some of the TikTok cards came out. The cards for my TikTok video that didn't make sense. Sorry. So we'll go over those cards too. The first card that was here was this King of Wands. We also talked about that. In, I don't, if you're not from TikTok, um, we talked about this too. This is when you step out of like this funkiness and just walk into this uncertainty, and just have this faith. You're gonna get this kind of creative creative like spark of energy, and you're gonna feel a little more passion in what you're doing, because you're gonna be more focused on your goals, and you're gonna be more focused on your own energy. And yeah, look, oh wow. Well, yeah, so, well, all of these cards are really just talking about what we already just talked about. But yeah, so if you are kind of like feeling like there's some situations here that we'll go over. So if you are feeling like funky, or you're really fixated on money right now, because obviously money's tight, we need some more dough. Just don't let it get into your head. Don't be hyper dependent on finances. Don't be fixated on money. Allow yourself to be detached from money. I know that that sounds crazy. Um, do some budgeting and just figure out some things that work for you. But don't allow yourself to be in that mind trap of lack, because that's what we're talking here. If you get stuck in that mind trap, it's a trap, like it's a cycle. That's why we get stuck in that vicious cycle of lack, because we're so fixated on money and need that we don't find solutions. Like the solutions never come because we're so fixated on the problem. I hope that makes sense. Um we also, okay, so this is also actually the same energy too. The Four of Pentacles. So being really, and also being really greedy too. So if you feel like, you're very fixated on money, you're overly overvaluing money and finances, and you're just becoming like greedy or just hyper dependent on money, like those things are going to cause a lot more turbulence and grief, and it's just not going to help your situation. It's not going to help you gain more finances by being fixated on finances. That's not the headspace you want to be in. You want to be in a creative headspace, because that's where problem solving comes. So, with that being said, we're going to embrace this with this Knight of Swords energy and just kind of like, stab it right in the face. Gosh, that sounded so vicious. It was vicious. But that's what we're doing. We're being ambitious. We're fixated on our goals, and we're determined to just go after it, go face forward into the chaos. It's not really chaos, but we're just going to go facing our fears. And that's also what brings us into these two cards. These two cards did come up, like the Four of Pentacles, and I think the Four of Pentacles was the only card that didn't come up in the TikTok reading. But all of these last four cards, the Knight of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords, and then we have the Empress and the High Priestess energy. So it's basically you're being brought into this energy. But you have to remember, you can't be like carried into this energy. Like you can't be carried into the Empress energy. You can't be carried into the High Priestess energy. This stuff is taught. It's taught. It's taught in a very slow pace. But with that being said, it's still a very important process. And it's what brings you into, you know, the reality of abundance versus the vision of abundance. That's uh that is something that you have to learn on your own journey. I won't get too deep into that, but you know, our ideals of abundance isn't necessarily what is abundance, and you know, we see that a lot with what's going on in Hollywood. So, if you understand like a lot of your growth process and you embrace your shadow and you embrace like the darker aspects of you with like this with grace and love and compassion and empathy, you'll realize like a lot of this energy was really to bring you into a much more humble, a much more grateful, and a much more like happy state of being with where you are and not where you should be, where you have to be, or where you can be, because fixating and daydreaming is like the killer of all creative um ambition. Like it can either spike your journey or it can cause a lot of turbulence in your journey. I guess it really depends on who you are too and how you look at it. But I just want you to understand that like we have to go through a lot of this dark night of the soul process to really discover who we are and the things that we stay attached to, and allow ourselves to become detached to those thwarted values that have been bestowed upon us. I do want to say here too that we have this card at the top. It was just staring at me, so I had to bring it out. This is basically your door here. It's opened. It's just waiting for you to walk through. So this is your sign, this is your message. Just basically walk through the door of uncertainty. Again, you know how we saw that dude? He's walking in that cloud of mist. It is gonna be a little scary. Change is scary. But that doesn't mean that it's bad. It doesn't mean that it's negative. It doesn't mean that something bad's gonna happen. It just means like, oh my god, I don't know what's gonna happen. That's all it means. And we're gonna pull a card from the Moon Mantra deck. This card though. I love these. I knew that I spent $50 on this deck. It was calling me. Sometimes you just know, like, witchcraft, spirituality, like when you see a crystal, when you see a deck of cards and you're like fixated on it, you're just staring at it and you're like, god, that's expensive, but for some reason I need it. That's your sign, bro. I know. It's just like I literally spent I don't like spending money on things like that. I'm sorry. That was a leap of faith for me. I spent $50 on this deck and I swear to Grace, OMG, like it literally every single time it literally just takes all of my words and combines it into a conclusionary summary. Anyway, so I'm just saying, I just had to put that out there. I take strategic focused action towards my goals. Developing a plan and executing habits are what fuel my momentum. Consistency drives progress. I'm an unstoppable force. So again, with all this healing, this collective healing process, just take this time to again detox, just detach yourself. Not to necessarily go in the hermit mode. We're coming out of the hermit mode. I know that may sound a little confusing. What is she talking about? Do I stay in the public or not? No, my point is utilize these like social media platforms to put yourself out there and not digest. So the algorithms, they're really thwarted right now. There's a lot of chaos going on, so don't allow yourself to just feed into all of that information. Allow yourself to express information, but don't feed and digest the information being brought to you at this time. Just because it, you know, it can thwart your ideas, it can thwart your mood, it can thwart your energy and just kind of throw you off or just allow you to become unfocused, staring at TikTok all day. Guilty as charged. But, you know, it's okay. we're coming out of that hermit phase so we can utilize this and develop better rituals, better habits. So we're here to post and put our information out there, put our creativity out there, and just kind of, support ourselves. But we're not here to take in all the chaos. So there's a lot more balance and ambitious drive when we stay on that type of energy. When we're focused on putting information and allowing ourselves to be seen, that's when we start attracting what we're looking for. When we start attracting our manifestations, that's when things start coming in, because we are subconsciously practicing the law of detachment, because we've like forgotten about all of the things that we've been manifesting and fixating on. So we're actually taking action now, and we've forgotten all about the things that we desired, and we're just making it happen. That's like literally the trick. If you wanted the secret to spirituality and manifestation, that is the trick. It is a mind trick. There's a lot more involved with it, don't get me wrong. But it is literally also a mind trick to trick you into doing the things that you need to be doing and healing the things that you need to be healing in order to do the things that you need to be doing in order to become the thing that you're manifesting. And then you just eventually become it, because repetition creates new cycles. It creates a new way of being. So that's why it works. I mean, it can be mumbo jumbo, a lot of it. It can be mumbo jumbo to you. It really can, jambalaya. But at the same time, that's how it works. And that's why it works. So I'm just saying, think about it from a logical perspective or think about it from an esoteric perspective. It don't matter. Either way, it works. Okay, I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed today's Tarot Tuesday. If you do want a private reading, the link is in my bio, or I guess down below. Forgot it was on TikTok. Sorry, I've been talking about TikTok this whole freaking time. Sorry, guys. This is me letting myself know that I need a detox from TikTok. I know, it's bad. Anyway, but yeah, if you want a private reading, they're down below. And I do go live on Twitch as well for some live readings by donation, so you can catch me live as well. Okay, I love you guys. Bye.